Hey y'all, this is Holly. Um, so if you saw my short earlier, I read Goldfinger and finally had seen the movie all the way through. Um, so I felt like kind of just talking about both is kind of be kind of a comparison, also just kind of a review of the movie as well. Um, I did like both. I know that Goldfinger is almost like the movie version, at least. It's almost the prototypical Bond movie, which I get for being the third one. It's the sixth, I think. Let me see. Seventh in the series. So it's an odd. I mean, it's not necessarily an odd choice for it to be the one made because they did Doctor No first. Like they jumped around, but it's definitely out of comparison when you look at the previous two. Being Doctor No is like one of the Bond movies. Like even then they nail what Bond was going to be, and then they switched to the more darker Bond, like the more spy heavy Bond, being with from Russia, and then back to the more extravagant one. But no, it's good. I would say the book does do things better. It does. Like the rivalry between Goldfinger and Bond works a lot better. The fact that it's the seventh in the series, you already established more characters. So Felix is better established. His hatred for America is better established. His history with certain women is better established. So like a lot of that's better in the books for sure. Um, and also in the books, Goldfinger is okay. So I'm going to get into spoilers for both the movie and the book. So if you don't want that, and in here, me saying both are good, both are warrant a checkout, of course. But starting around a 2 minute mark is spoilers. But for that, if you like all of these James Bond stuff as a tangent from my other movie stuff, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, share, spread the word. All right. So yeah, in the movie, if you've seen it, Goldfinger is more so concerned about fake robbing Fort Knox, destroying the gold, and increasing his surplus, his the wealth of his that he has. Um, but in the book, he's working for Smash or Smirsh, which is like Russia's double O kind of thing. Like it's where it's the same group that trained uh, the main guy, main villain, and From Russia with Love, like that villain, like the main heavy in that is trained by that. Um, Also, within the series of the books, um, Goldfinger essentially takes the spot of um, Yasuf Koto's character role essentially in Live and Let Die, where they both in both books they serve as like the money generator for Smirsh. Or, so Smash is kind of like Spectre in a way for the Craig movies, where like they're behind a lot of things. Um, but besides that, so his plan in the book is to still rob Fort Knox, but it's to legitimately rob it. And some of the gangsters, they don't die, they go their own way. I mean, they die eventually, but like they survive the robbery. Um, and Odd Job survives in the end. Like if you've seen the movie, you know that Goldfinger gets sucked out of an airplane. That happens to Odd Job instead. Um, and Bond still gets with Pussy Galore, but it's more mutual. I want to say like it's still forceful. It's still not great, but like in the movie, it's much more forceful and not 100%. Pussy Galore's character in the book is worse, not worse, but kind of. It's tough in the book, and I think they mention it in the movie, but she's her mom ran a brothel and that she was assaulted by a gang who the mom didn't pay payment to. Um, so she has a hatred for men because of, well, that. And like Bond does eventually wear her down, and they eventually do the deed, but it's much more better handled, surprisingly, than in the movie. The movie kind of hints at something like that, and then he just, does a typical James Bond thing. But that's different. The other different thing is that, and I kind of get why they did this. Um, uh, if you remember, so you had Tilly and Jill, I believe, uh, Masterson. In the movies, it's the woman with the who's helping Goldfinger in the beginning, who gets covered in gold, and then it's her sister who's trying to kill Goldfinger. A similar kind of thing happens, but you don't find out that Jill, yeah, gets covered in gold until Tilly says it. You never see it, it never happens on screen. But I do get like it's kind of like showing, not telling kind of thing. I get that change. Tilly also doesn't really like men very much either. So that annoys Bond. There is that bit where he's like, oh, stupid girl, she should have listened to me instead of hanging out with the women. She wouldn't have died. Which is like, okay, sure, whatever. But yeah, that's the other thing is Bond and Tilly both end up helping Goldfinger with the robbery, which is funny. Uh, yeah, and Pussy Galore doesn't run a aviation like flight thing. Like they still do that, but she also was in charge of a gang in Harlem. Um, and like it's become he become it's a weird it's a weird challenge for Bond in the book where he finds out that Pussy Galore is a lesbian from Felix, and he's like, "Bet I'm gonna change that." And I mean, he does, but you know, it's of the time. Uh, a lot of that stuff was taken straight from the book, like the whole bit of Goldfinger saying that he loves the touch, the feel, the everything about gold. That's in the book. The golfing is more detailed in the book, like insanely detailed in the book, a bit too much. Um, but it's all very interesting. That's the weird thing. The great thing about the Bond books is how much detail they go into um, the theme of the book, like the MacGuffin of the book, like Cinderella. Not poker, but baccarat, and goes into incredible detail on that. Diamonds Forever goes very much into diamonds. Goldfinger goes into gold and golf. Live and Let Die has a tangent on how to free dive and like voodoo and stuff. And diamonds. No, I never said diamond. Moonraker goes into rockets. So they each have their own little thing that they go way too deep into, or not too deep, not way too deep, but like go really in deep depth on. Um, Honestly, I don't think I would rank this that high with the Bond movies. Like if I had a, if out of the Bond movies I've seen, which is the Craig movies, the Bronson movies, a couple more, and a couple Connery, and I've seen bits of like Dalton, and I've seen like most of On Her Majesty's. So like I've seen most of everyone's. I still don't think I would rank Goldfinger that high. Um, Definitely higher for shot for Connery, yeah, absolutely. But in terms of like overall, it's a little speedy at times, and um, the plot points don't really make sense. Like, why did Goldfinger bring in the mobsters only to kill them? Like, even the ones who wanted to join up with him? Like, that part didn't make any sense at all. And of course, Bond being a little uh, doesn't take no for an answer. He was a little that, and that rubs me the wrong way, especially knowing the character's backstory is not great. Um, which is why I'm also kind of concerned for watching Diamonds, because a very similar thing happens in Diamonds. Um, to a lesser extent, but a weirder. No, not Diamonds. I'm sorry. No, does a thing like that happen in Diamonds? Yes, a thing like that happens in Diamonds as well. So Diamonds, this, and Doctor No all have a thing like that to various extents, and that's I mean, I get it. I get why people say that that was Connery's Bond because, well, that, yeah, in the books, that's very much the case, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, this was good. I'm liking this watching the movies after reading the books kind of thing because it's very interesting seeing the difference. I'll say this right off the bat is Diamonds was no, no sorry, I'm obsessed with Diamonds right now. Uh, 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 um, From Russia with Love and for the most part, Casino are pretty much straight adaptations. Um, General Bible Casino, that is. Um, Goldfinger plays a little loose. Doctor No, for the most part, from what I've heard, from bits I've seen, is pretty close. I don't think they could do some of the stuff that was in the book for sure. Live and Let Die was pretty on the nose for the most part. Um, Moonraker haven't gone into, so can't say. Um, what else? Yeah, Diamonds. I haven't gotten Diamonds the movie yet, but I do know that they changed some stuff by adding Blofeld and stuff. So I know there is some changes made with that one. But no, I'm liking this. I liked both. I like this. So once again, if you like this direction of me just occasionally talking about Bond movies along with my other stuff, spread the word, and I'll see you next time.